What up, guys? It's February 23rd, and I'm doing an emergency market alert. Okay, everybody who's invested should know what's going on right now in the Ukraine-Russia situation. So markets just got hit badly just a couple hours ago because of that, so we're watching that. So I want to go over what's going on real quick. Not a very structured video because I got feeds here all over my screens on what's going on to see if there's any kind of escalation, here, anything that we need to react to when the markets open tomorrow at 6:30 Pacific time. Okay, but let me give you some background here real quick. So here we go. I got a map of Ukraine. I grabbed this off the news, but what I want you guys to know essentially is Vladimir Putin yesterday I think it was yesterday, the day before, came out and said, "Hey, I'm gonna recognize these two as independent nations, independent republics. This is part of the Ukraine. This is like if Mexico said, "Hey, we're gonna declare New Mexico and Arizona to be independent republics, and we're gonna go take them." So it's the equivalent of that. So he's taking land from a sovereign country, and here in the shading, you see this red shading here. This part of the country is actually controlled by pro-Russian separatists. So folks out there that say, "Hey, we want to be part of Russia. We want to be part of Ukraine." But here you have these parts that are sort of like overreach for them that are not controlled by those pro-Russian separatists. And there's a lot of Ukrainian military there, which are currently right now probably getting lit up, getting shelled at the moment, because now we have buildup. And let me show you guys that military buildup. So this is a kind of picture here grabbed off the news also about that buildup. I mean, we got 200,000 Russian units completely surrounding the Ukraine right now, and they're shelling all over the place. There's shelling reported in every of these cities here. I was just checking the news. All over the place, they're getting shelled. Even Odessa here is getting shelled. So what we can expect in the coming days, and what I would think is this kind of pincer type attack into Kiev and into these areas here, Donetsk and Kharkiv. Okay, and I think what's going to happen is that there's going to be a lot of death, a lot of bad coming from this, and as shareholders, we need to keep an eye on this. This is macroeconomy, big time news that affects the market negatively. Let's go over those numbers right now in the market. So here we got CNBC, and we see the futures down 700 points on the Dow, 2% on the Dow, 2% on the S&P, over 2.5% on the NASDAQ, and oil actually touched that $100 a barrel range. Or either it was this or it was Brent crude oil, but still big old jump, 5% jump on the price of oil. That's not good for the markets. Okay, what the markets are saying here is that they're expecting heavy sanctions against Russia, and those sanctions are going to prevent their exporting of oil. So there's going to be less supply in the world of oil, which means prices are going to increase significantly. The one thing that could save this a little bit is it's an Iranian deal that's being worked right now for Iran to drop oil into the world's markets, which that would probably account maybe from 5 to 10 points here. But further aggression, further issues are probably going to get this over $100 a barrel of oil. When it comes to oil, you have to remember the American producers are still not producing at 100% capacity. These guys are saying, we want money to go to our shareholders first, so we're not going to produce at 100% capacity. But I think that now they're probably about 55-60% capacity last I looked, and they're going to have to produce more so they can make a ton of money, so they can make a killing. So we'll keep an eye on the price of oil and on the markets, guys. And here we go. See, Brent oil hits $100 a barrel for the first time since 2014. Yeah, no duh. We're going to have a huge cut of supply because sanctions need to come. And I'm for the sanctions. I think they need to happen. I think this guy here is just losing his mind. He's 70 years old, and he's brutal, and I think he's just trying to make a legacy for himself. We'll see what happens, okay? Now, when it comes to your portfolios, I'm not selling anything in my portfolio at the moment, okay? And I don't believe that I will be selling. I have cash stash for this kind of situation, and I was waiting for something like this to happen. I was hoping it didn't happen, but at the same time, you got to take the opportunities when they arrive in the form of they arrive. It's not great for me to be out here telling you guys, hey, buy stocks if somebody invades, and we hope that somebody invades and then a bunch of people die. No. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that, hey, we got to take the opportunities as they come, and the earnings of Microsoft, the earnings of Home Depot, of Walmart don't get affected by this stuff. They just do not. Supply chain is probably very, very minimally affected by this. Supply chains don't go through Russia, so I'm not worried about that front, okay? I'm actually worried about what the Federal Reserve will do in the next coming month more than this. But this is a big-time event. Hopefully, nothing happens and there's some de-escalation and we see something different. But in the meantime, this is a buying opportunity. This is when you get into the market. If you're not in the market, if you haven't gotten to the market yet and you were trying to get in, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, okay? If you guys have any questions, anything that you want to talk about, I'll be probably up all night looking at this stuff and listening to the news. And then I'll be up in the crack of, or at the crack of dawn at the market open, guys, okay? So feel free to reach out, Instagram, Twitter, here on YouTube. Drop me a comment. Peace out.